Hi guys, this is Niraj Shah from ITO Design. That's Edo Design, Ahmedabad. Um, I think there's a lot of discussion happening in all forums, all groups. We also have another vertical. We're also into graphic design, but primarily we're into interior design. We don't do any architecture at all. We qualified interior designers, from CEPT, and the kind of interior work that we do is slightly more specialized. Of course, we end up doing a lot of residences and offices as well, but mainly a lot of F&B and retail design. So yes, I mean the discussions are around what is happening to design business, to the work. Number one is that we need to very surely understand that we are definitely non-essential. We are number one a service industry. It is going to get affected. It's very difficult to manage and maintain or create that kind of value for something which is so abstract as service. There are a lot of firms, of course, they're into design and build. We are not. We are only into design consulting services. With design itself, I mean, when you look at pandemics like this, we've already in Ahmedabad, we faced the earthquake once. Post earthquake, things were very different. Of course, demonetization happened in the entire country. A lot of things did change, but temporarily. With this, we still don't know whether it's going to be temporary, whether it's going to be, permanent damage, if not the situation being the same for a long term. Uh, but one thing is very crucial is that there is going to be change. We as humans and as designers especially, I think we are quite adaptive. So we are already adapting to this whole idea of working from home, whatever that means. It's not predefined. People didn't know how to do it. They're all trying to do it, learning from each other, trying to do it in their own manner. The team sizes are different for everybody. Uh, you know, the kind of work that everyone is doing is very different from each other. So there cannot be one single cookie cutter kind of a solution for this. But yes, what are we doing? What we realized in the first few days itself was that the team needed to be motivated, and it did not, as much as you would be panicking. They are always, teams are looking at leaders, and I think your responsibility as a leader is and was even at that time, and even now, even more in the future, is to be able to lead them with a certain level of confidence, optimism, and reality. So they need to, of course, it needs to be not hunky dory. Everything's not going to be the same. uh, Work on sites have reduced, obviously, because there are not no people there. But this is the time, if we are able to understand our individual resources well, designers who are on board understand what the individual strengths are, to be able to actually utilize it in the best possible manner by indulging in design, which is what we do best. We are realizing that there's going to be, obviously reduced imports from China and from Italy. The whole ease that we've been used to and spoiled by specifying certain, products, directly picked up off the shelf. While you're kind of, doing the spatial and volumetric lighting based stuff within the site, a lot of loose furniture was all bought out. A lot of those things are going to change. Here we look at it as an opportunity. We look at it as rethinking of culture. We are looking at rethinking frugality, minimalism or essentialism in the right way. Minimalism has been practiced a lot in terms of design trend, but no, it's going to be a lot of essentialism. There's going to be a lot of story and emotion, which means there's going to be a lot of craft. There's going to be a lot of Indian aesthetic that is going to come into the future. We are used to it. We understand it ourselves. Very often we like it ourselves, for ourselves, but we are not able to, as designers, and larger level, are being able to really replicate or put it in the best possible manner, in the right manner, within spaces. I think this is the best time to explore that. We obviously are forced to it, not as a matter of choice really, but a lot of us have been on the fence. A lot of times we've aspired as designers and as our users with that, minimalist Italian look, or the Art Deco, or the things classic, colonial, Renaissance, which we've been able to easily pick from from the markets abroad. But today, I think we need to explore the Indian aesthetic and put in the best way, and educate our clients that this is something that is going to be the future, which is going to be, right to live in, and which is going to be good. Homes will have to become homes and homely. I think a lot of people may have realized, staying at home also. what really constitutes a home, what are the issues and what are the problems. So a lot of these things will get redefined. Retail projects, of course, are going to reduce because people are not going to be looking at expansion, etc. Offices, in terms of spaces, are changing big way. Of course, we are not into very large, kind of setups, but we are realizing this out of discussions with friends and colleagues who are only into office design. Office spaces are going to shrink. So I think there is a much larger question in terms of what is going to happen post this pandemic. One is that nobody really knows. Two is that if we don't rethink and change certain things, whether it's using technology, whether it is changing a mindset, whether it is changing the way we have been doing things till now, the future is going to be tough. But let's not all be pessimistic. I think a lot of positivity needs to come in. We have been trying to induce TED talks, online courses, etc. within the team itself. We have raffle kind of system where we have the teams internally calling each other. Of course, they are all in touch, but and we're not a very large team. We're just about 20. So they talk to each other, on calls, and we try and take care of especially people who not from are not local and have moved in from other cities and kind of away from home and from the parents, etc. So a lot of this instilling in terms of care for is going to be a large part. Caring for yourself, caring for your teams, caring for your for the craftsmen, for the people who are working on sites, and caring for for the fraternity or for the profession itself to become more responsible. So I think a lot of this will be answered through a certain sense of frugality and minimalism in terms of how we approach things. So I think, yeah, that's pretty much all, and I think we're all waiting for things to unfold. Of course, we want things to kind of come back to normal. With the whole scene and scenario is kind of very unknown to us, but I think we're all trying our best and adapting to it. The day is pretty much, we try our best to kind of be as disciplined as possible, with certain times set for meetings, for Zoom meetings. Of course, home and household work and chores, very important. I've been insisting to my team as well, trying to follow it. Personally, it's been coming a lot of this, that to exercise both mental and physical is very important. Take your puzzles, take your courses, play games, and do your little skipping, hopping, jumping, yoga, or whatever you like. There are a lot of apps available, a lot of nice things that are there which can be followed. Even 5 or 7 minutes of intense workout is good. So everybody, nice, stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you very much, Aqua, for another lovely opportunity to share this. Thank you so much. Thanks.